Initially, my plan was to hike and camp at the Devil's Tower tonight. That place is highly unusual, and I was expecting a very strange overnight trip. Unfortunately, on top of that mountain, it is covered in ice. And that means that that sort of trip is impossible. Basically, the Devil's Tower is a series of rocks stacked on top of each other that jut out over a mountain. It is just too dangerous to even go up there. I love filming adventures, but I don't want to die up there. So, yeah, we have to go to Plan B. First things first, I need to cruise down this road here and find a place to camp for the night. Already it's getting late, and it will be dark soon. Currently, we are under a winter weather advisory for freezing rain, which has already done some damage on this road here. There's quite a few fallen trees, busted up limbs, and stuff like that. It's icy out there, folks. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to put up the camera and focus on driving and locating a place where I can pull over and stay tonight. I am so far away from home, there's no point of going home. It's just simply too late. So we might as well pull over, spend the night in the 4Runner, and await the storms. I will tell you all more about that soon. Everyone, I think I have found a nice place for us to stay tonight. Let me go ahead here and read you all the weather forecast for this area. There's a lot going on right now. Check this out. We have a winter weather advisory until 9 o'clock tonight for freezing rain. There's a high wind watch in place that's going to become a warning tomorrow. And there is also a flash flood watch, which is in place right now until tomorrow night. The forecast for the rest of the day is this. Rain likely mainly before 5 p.m. It's dry now, it's around 5 o'clock. Tonight, there's a chance of rain between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. Showers and thunderstorms are likely. The chance of rain is 70%, and we're looking at 1 inch of rainfall. Tomorrow morning, rain showers and storms, mainly before 11 a.m. An additional 1 inch is possible. Currently, it is 39 degrees Fahrenheit. It's rather cool. The temperature is supposed to rise throughout the night. By like midnight, it's supposed to be almost 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So right now, 39. Later on tonight, in just a few hours, 50. That right there should tell you what's taking place. We have a warm front coming into the area. So we have warm air meeting cold air. And when that happens, it's like an oil fire, right? Introducing water to an oil fire. In other words, there's a potential for big storms. Without a doubt, there's going to be a lot of rain. As far as I can tell, everything looks good as far as the trees go. That is one of those things where you can look, you can do your best, but you never know when a limb is going to break or a tree is going to come down. Already this forest is in rough shape, right? We had Hurricane Helene come through. Then over the last couple of weeks, we've had countless ice storms that have really, really weakened this forest. The damage out here is fairly substantial. There's hundreds of downed trees, thousands of downed limbs. My concerns are in regards to the high winds that are coming in later on tonight. Based upon what I'm seeing here, I think we're in good shape, but if it begins to get really windy, we could roll out. There's only one tree in this immediate area here that concerns me, and it's this one right over here. It's big, it's already laying on top of another tree, and my gut tells me eventually it will come down. Not anytime soon, but its days are numbered. It's because that tree is sitting on top of another tree, and there's this tree right here that would block it if it fell, that I would entertain even staying here. There's so much in the way of that tree, I don't think there's any way that it's going to fall this direction anytime soon. Of course, it's a gamble, it's a risk, and it's a risk that I'm willing to take. I think I'm in good shape. Ultimately, when you go into the outdoors, that's what you do, right? You assess the risks, you take a chance, and you live with the repercussions. It's no different if you're backpacking or overlanding. One thing that I need to do now before it gets any later is to set up the back of the 4Runner. Ultimately, I don't have much to do, and that's because I don't have that much gear with me. I planned for a backpacking adventure. To be honest, everybody, calling it a backpacking adventure is generous. Basically, I was going to go up to the Devil's Throne and spend the night under the throne itself. I was going to sit on a rock all night long to see what experiences that I had. I do not have a tent with me, no sleeping pad or anything like that. Very, very, very minimal gear. Luckily, I have the 4Runner with me, and because it's wintertime, I do have a wintertime emergency kit, and that includes a sleeping bag and also a heater. Additionally, I do have an air mattress inside of the 4Runner here that I always keep inside of here. As the seasons change, I tailor my kit for those seasons and the temperatures that are expected. That's something I do, and it's something that you should do, especially if you live out in an area like I do, which is very remote. Oftentimes when I head out on these trips, I am out in the middle of nowhere, and because of that, I have to be well prepared. Anyways, folks, I'm going to take 5 minutes, get everything set up, and we'll do some more talking. And just like that, folks, my setup here is done. This is super, super basic, super minimal. I really don't have that much gear with me, and that's okay. I'm still going to have an awesome night tonight. Yes, it's not the trip that I planned on. The truth is, I'll probably get more sleep this way. Anyways, the setup here, it's done. It's super simple. Now I'm going to get some of the gear out of my backpack, basically get set up for tonight as far as dinner goes. We have storms coming in later on tonight that really are going to arrive like in the morning. And we're talking about flash flood capable storms. Along with the storms, some stronger winds. Tomorrow night, it's going to snow. Monday, it's going to snow. This winter, we've had a lot of snow, but just about every single time we get the wind, and it's just awful and miserable, but that's what it's looking like right now. As far as having a campfire goes tonight, unfortunately, that is not going to happen. I do have my fire kit with me, but everything here is so soaking wet, it would be a battle to get it to burn. Because of that, no fire tonight. Now, luckily, I do have this heater here. This will be the first time where I've actually used it as a heating source. With this product here, it's actually a stove heater combo. I've already begun testing it out as a stove. Tonight, I begin testing it out as a heater. So, yeah. I'm excited to see how well that goes. Ultimately, inside of the 4Runner, I will stay nice and warm tonight. And I should mention, folks, I'm pretty sure the temperature has been dropping since I got here. When we first got here, I was actually warm, but as it stands right now, I'm anything but that. It's actually quite chilly. I do have a down jacket, gloves, and all that stuff, but we're almost to the point where it's time to hop inside of the 4Runner and basically call it done out here. There's nothing to do, really. Again, everything here is just soaking wet, folks. And that's because of like the rain and the freezing rain that we had this morning, in addition to all of the other rain, snow, and freezing rain that we've had over the last 2 weeks. It has been non-stop, everyone. We're talking about every other day, some sort of winter event, some sort of weather event, I should say, coming in. This year, this winter, it's been awesome. It really has been. And it's been non-stop. As you all can see, the fog has departed. It's been raining like very, very lightly, just enough to kind of like wet the windshield and stuff like that. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I am camping on a national forest road. I'm not sure what the number is for this. I do know what that one is. I'm familiar somewhat with that road, not this one. It's one of the benefits of living out in the middle of nowhere. Forest roads. Hundreds and hundreds of forest roads out here. You could spend days just driving the forest roads out into the middle of nowhere. Most of it is national forest land. I'm definitely blessed to live where I do. Now, of course, there's pros and cons to living out in the middle of nowhere. I've talked about those before, so I'm not going to again, but this is a positive, you know what I mean? The odds are I will see and hear no one tonight. By the way, folks, whoever camped out here last, they brought gasoline with them, and I could smell it big time. Maybe their vehicle was leaking, maybe they burned it, I'm not sure, but it's quite strong still. It's only at like certain spots. Not where I parked the 4Runner, but like up here on the hill. I could smell it out here too. Anyways, folks, it's getting dark. Let's go to the 4Runner. It is amazing to me, everyone, that these lights continue to work to this day. I've been using these string lights for years. I've had them out in snowstorms, temperatures at 0. They've been soaking wet in thunderstorms, storms that went tornadic, you know? They continue to work, and that blows my mind. I want to say these were like $25, something like that. That is the best $25 I've ever spent. It's kind of funny, after my review went up for these lights here, I actually heard from like the head honcho at the company, and they said that this is now their best selling product of all time, all because of my review. I told them that I reviewed this product honestly. I purchased it, I tested it out, I like everything about it, and that's why I gave it such glowing reviews. It is a very good product, that's for sure. Very impressive product. If this thing stopped working, I would not be surprised at all, and I still got my money's worth, but yet it just keeps on going. Anyways, folks, it's late, it's dark, it's cold. Let's seal up the 4Runner. I'll tell you what, folks, this heater stove combo is amazing. You're able to dial it back so much. Most heaters don't allow you to do that, not to this extent. For a small space like this, this is working amazingly well, even at like the lowest setting possible. I'm very, very impressed with this. Anyways, it is now a little bit after 7 o'clock. I'm getting hungry. Let's go ahead and let's make dinner. Speaking of which, tonight we are having pulled pork by Real Termat. Oh yeah. This, everyone, smells fantastic. The funny thing about this meal, it is pulled pork with rice. It tastes like pepperoni pizza. And it's fantastic. Dear Lord, please don't let this burn my mouth. Amen. That is unbelievable. And yes, it tastes like pepperoni pizza. Like cheesy pepperoni pizza. It's really unusual, and it's fantastic. At the same time, you can see here, it is super, super hot. William, my friend, thank you so much for this meal. I really do appreciate it. I know you said I didn't have to give you a shout out or anything, but you deserve it. My friend, thank you so much. I'm sitting here and I'm eating a pizza, folks. For dinner tonight, I figured we would talk about all sorts of things. The first point to mention is something really, really cool, and I wish I had more information about this. Susie just told me about this, and I didn't have time to like write down all the details, so I'm going off memory here. You may or may not know this, but Susie is really big into like true crime and stuff like that. So at the end of 2024, we donated to a group that helps solve crimes. And we just found out that that money was used for some DNA testing, and they solved a rape case. A like 32-year-old rape case. It's like the poor woman who went through that and had to wait 32 years to find out who did it. And now they've gotten charged and they're gonna go to prison. That is amazing. When Susie was talking to me about donating to this organization to help solve some crimes, I had no idea that the DNA testing was so expensive. But obviously it is, and it's the reason why many police departments, law enforcement agencies can't afford to have it done. Oftentimes their evidence rooms are full of evidence that they can't afford to have tested. It's unbelievable. So, way to go, Susie. That's pretty cool. It's horrific and great all at the same time, you know what I mean? The things that humans do to each other. I'm getting close to being done, everyone. What a shame. This feels so good, folks. I am super, super impressed with this heater. Right now, I have it on very, very low. The truth is, if I turned it up, I could probably roast myself out of here in no time, in the matter of seconds. This is quite powerful. Luckily, you can dial it back. That's super, super important. Something else that's important. Let me do these shout outs real quick. Otherwise, I might forget. The first shout out goes to Paul from the UK. Thank you so much, my friend. I really do appreciate you. You have helped me big time. Big time. In the past, I've spoken about a condition that I have called hemochromatosis. To put it simply, those with hemochromatosis, their bodies hold iron more so than others, people who don't have this. So basically, the body holds iron, and it puts it in the joints. It puts it in the organs. It can be fatal. It's known as the silent killer. Anyways, Paul wrote, and he told me that I should eat strawberries. He has hemochromatosis, and he only has to donate blood like 4 times a year. I've been donating blood every single week for most of 2024. After Paul wrote, I began eating strawberries. Shortly afterwards, I went and had my blood tested, and my levels were fairly low. So I doubled up on the strawberries. I have them in the morning, I have them at night. I had my blood tested, and it only went up it was like 8.6, something like that. Whereas prior to this, eating strawberries, that is, it was going up like 100 points every single week. So eating strawberries is like a cheat code. It has completely changed my life, man. Changed my life so much that I haven't had to donate blood in over a month. And I was having to donate blood every single week. Folks, I haven't donated blood in 1 month. That's amazing. Every single time that I did that, it cost $600. So every single week, $600 to have my blood taken. Paul, thank you so much for writing. I really do appreciate it. You have saved me a ton of time, a ton of money. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Next on the list here is Chris. My friend, thank you so much for the works. Freeze-dried ice cream sandwich, a Mountain House meal, some hazelnut coffee from Black Rifle. You are a great friend, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Steven, my friend, thank you so very much for the seriously strong coffee. I cannot wait to try it. Also, thank you so much for the patches. Those are awesome. William, thank you again for everything that you do, for the meals and so on. You are appreciated big time. Steve, thank you so much for the stove that you sent me. That is an interesting looking product, and I'm interested to check that out. It looks like a direct competitor to the Nature Hike stove. We'll see if it is very soon. But my friend, thank you so much for that. Somebody sent a ton of Taster's Nasty hazelnut coffee, and I don't know who. Whoever sent it, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Lastly, there is Rhonda. Thank you so much for writing in. Rhonda, it sounds like she's just getting into the outdoors. She's learning and whatnot. She wrote in about the DD Hammocks tarp that I recently previewed. She was sharing her thoughts about it and whatnot. Now, Rhonda, shoot me an email or contact me through Facebook. I no longer do any sort of messaging on Instagram or anything like that. There's just so much spammy crap on there. I just can't do it. So, anyways, Rhonda, shoot me a message, because in your letter, I don't want to get too specific here. There was a handful of things that you wrote about that made no sense at all. Rhonda had all sorts of misunderstandings about like what a square tarp is, in other words, a flat tarp, and also the different types of setups. Rhonda, shoot me a message and I'll help you out with all of that stuff. Everyone, thank you so very much for writing, sending in everything that you do. I really do appreciate it. You all are fantastic people, and I'm very, very lucky to have you all in my life. It is a little bit after 10 o'clock. Supposedly, all of the storms and whatnot will be here between 6 a.m. and 8. Ultimately, we'll see what happens. I have no idea. All that I know is that I'm camping at a cool site. It's super foggy outside, and it is super warm and comfortable inside. Oh yeah. My plan is simple, everyone. I'm gonna go to bed. There's no internet. I didn't download anything, so really, it's been a quiet evening in many ways. I've just been sitting here thinking about life, thinking about things I need to do, problems and whatnot, and it's been good, actually, really good. Sometimes you have to have time like that, you know? Anyways, everybody, I'm going to bed. I will see you all in the morning. I'm going to set my alarm for 5 a.m. Good night, folks. I'll see you then. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is almost 6 o'clock. Rain started around 5. There is a storm out there, folks, and it is getting closer. I just saw a flash of lightning, heard some thunder, and it is absolutely coming down right now. Without a doubt, the storm is getting closer, and also this entire campsite is beginning to flood. There is a river of water going through this site here. As far as the time goes, it is now about 7:15. It continues to rain out there. The winds are picking up. Every once in a while, the winds will be so strong that I hear them howling through the forest. The thunderstorm has moved on, or I should say the storms. I believe there was two, actually. One cell was to our north, and the other was to the south. It's been a very active morning, that's for sure. Look at it. Now respect it. Cheers, everyone. Good morning. That is some good coffee. And I'm not just saying that. It is actually awesome. Okay? This is awesome. Man. This really has been an interesting trip. My initial plan was to, of course, stay at the Devil's Throne, but that did not work out. That is such a weird place. I've been there 3 times over the course of a couple of years, and every single time I've had some really strange, odd experiences. I've heard weird things. What's going on up there exactly, I do not know, but I can tell you all that the area has a rather dark past. I spoke about this in the adventures that I had filmed up there and had shared what I read. Basically, it's known as the most forbidding forest in the Appalachian Mountains, and it all centers around this pile of rocks stacked on top of each other, jutting out from the side of this mountain. Basically, it makes what the Native Americans used to call the Devil's Throne. Eventually, I will stay the night up there, but not on this trip. One thing that really has surprised me on this trip was the lack of traffic going up and down these roads. They're forest roads, right? Oftentimes, all night long, people are cruising around, checking things out, especially when it's raining, you know? But no. No one's been out here. I have seen no one, heard nothing. Just quiet. I think that really ties into like Hurricane Helene, you know what I mean? This area now has a reputation for being closed. So there's really not that many people coming out here, which is a good thing for me, a bad thing for everybody else, I guess. I don't know. The amount of money that these mountain communities are losing because of the lack of like tourism and people coming through is unbelievable. For an example, the little city that I'm from, they've announced that they're going to have to take extraordinary measures basically to like balance the budget and whatnot because there was such a shortfall over the last couple of months. What that means, I have no idea. I don't think anybody does. Where do you cut that much money, you know, from the budget? I want to say it's like $5 million or something or other. Something like that. I don't know. All of that stuff is above my head. You know what I mean? And I'm glad. I don't want to... I hate numbers. I hate money. I hate talking about that stuff. So I don't even pay attention to it, you know? Thank God I married an accountant. That's what Susie does, right? So she can handle all that stuff. Anytime that she talks numbers to me, I just like phase out. Right. I just don't want to hear it. You know, like some things in this world, like you just don't want to deal with. Money, numbers, and all of that stuff. It's not my thing. Not at all. Fairly often I'll receive an email from someone who says like, "You're great, but let's see more Susie." I love that. That is so awesome. That sort of stuff makes me happy. I mean, Susie is such a good woman, you know what I mean? I'm very lucky. I really am. We have been together so long, I'm not even sure if I could do the math anymore. It's a long time. A long time. In a good relationship, your partner will boost your strengths while making up for your weaknesses. And that is certainly what Susie and I have together. We encourage the best from each other, our passions and whatnot, while making up for, you know, each other's weaknesses, so to speak. That's just how our relationship works. And it's far more than just that too, right? Without a doubt, I'm a very lucky man. And hopefully everybody watching this who's in a relationship can say the same thing. I'm a very lucky man, very lucky woman, whatever, it doesn't matter. But that's certainly how it should be. Your partner should compliment you, you know what I mean? Make you better and not hold you back or bring you down or anything like that. Now, of course, if you're someone who lives up in the clouds, so to speak, then having a partner who keeps you grounded, that's a good thing. Anyways, it is just flat out pouring outside. Every once in a while the winds really do pick up, and because of that I'm thinking that it's time to get out of here. I want to get out of this forest before it gets too windy, you know what I mean? I don't think there would be any problems, but better safe than sorry, so to speak. My friends, I want to thank you all so much for joining me for this trip. I know this was not the adventure that I had planned, but that's how it goes. We have to roll with the punches, and we certainly did. Nonetheless, I had a fantastic time, and I hope you all did too. This was a good, stormy morning. That's awesome. I cannot wait to see what's coming in next. Later on tonight, snow. Middle of next week, a big snowstorm. And I will be out for a backpacking adventure in that, so stay tuned. Everyone, I'm driving home, no fancy outros. I will see you all next week. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the thumbs up before you go. I do appreciate it. Make sure to check out my second YouTube channel, A Quiet Place Adventures. Oh yeah. Until next time, everyone, take care, be well, strength and honor. Bye for now.